I may be re-reviewing this one because my original review was really shit quality because I did it on screen recorder like I used to a lot back then. I still don't have a whole lot to say. Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but even going back and looking at my original written review for this one, it's literally only 2 sentences. Like, I shit you not, it's only 2 sentences, and those 2 sentences pretty much sum up the entire movie. And all the other problems of the film, it's all the other problems as the rest of these dog shit remakes. So, let's make this nice and quick, give it a swift kick in the ass goodbye so we can move on to the one that, the one that I've reserved a special amount of anger for. And you're gonna understand why, if you know the context. So, welcome back to Animation Station, welcome back to Disney-Vember 3 Corporate Calamity. We are almost done with this torturous shit, and I'm almost done having to review any more bad Disney movies. Because, like I said, Zootopia 2 will be the last movie I ever watch from this company that is not related to Spider-Man. Because I've given up on animation studios, I've given up on Pixar, and I did not give a single fuck about Lucasfilm to begin with. So, yeah, this is my last that's my last Disney movie that's new that I'll be reviewing. After that, whatever they come out with that's not Spider-Man, not gonna give a single shit. So yeah, that includes Avengers Doomsday, so don't ask about it because I don't want to review it because I'm done with the MCU. So, what's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're having a better time than me, because I had to re-watch and re-review this piece of shit, Peter Pan and Wendy. Now, to be fair, I was a little nice to it on that first review, from what I can remember, if I remember things correctly. Because it is a remake, but it did try to do something a little bit different, and it had one of the kid characters, Wendy, be a little bit more of a pivotal aspect to the story, and how she ties in with Captain Hook. Not a bad idea on paper. So what's the movie's problem? Being unbelievably fucking boring. Like, it is so boring. What happens in this movie? Well, they go off to Neverland, they spend Lord knows how long in Neverland, and they go about it in the most slow, stagnant, agonizing way that you can possibly imagine. Imagine Alice in Wonderland's agonizingly painful slow pacing cranked up to 11. Yeah, you can understand why I struggled on first watch to not fall asleep in my chair watching this garbage. And watching it even now, I still struggled not to fall asleep in my chair, because it is just so fucking slow and boring. So is there anything good here? Yes. One good thing. Jude Law is Captain Hook. Now, it's not like Angelina Jolie with Maleficent or Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil. Those performances I really like. This one is good, but it lacks a little bit of charisma. Like, Jude Law does do a good job with the material that he's given. He's by far the most entertaining part of the movie. But, unfortunately, unlike Luke Evans' Gaston in Beauty and the Beast 2017, he's not allowed to really go all out, because the movie's supposed to be so dark and serious and meh, that he's just not allowed to really lean into the goofiness of this character from the original Peter Pan. Oh, also, another side note, there were too many fucking Peter Pan movies. Stop. Just stop. Stop making them. This story has been done to death, and every time it gets worse. Both ones that are made by and not by Disney. So let's stop adapting Peter Pan, please, for the love of God. because it is worn out its welcome. So yeah, Jude Law's Captain Hook, best part of the movie. And I will say that the cinematography is nice. It it's a lot like the Dragons remake, where it's full of a lot of sweeping landscape shots and one takes, which do look really nice. The problem is, it's like every other generic fantasy land known to mankind, so you can't really get invested in it, no matter how good it looks. So, yeah, those are the two positives I have for the movie. Jude Law's performance as Captain Hook is good, if lacking charisma, and the cinematography is nice. The movie was at least made competently. And then there's everything else that decide to literally nosedive off of a cliff and into the jaws of a crocodile. The acting, the rest of the acting, especially the kid they got to play Peter Pan, is garbage. Like, they are all bad. They all sound like they're just there for paychecks and having a miserable time being there. The story sucks. Not only is it a bastardization of the original, but it is also just plain flat out fucking boring, because they barely do anything until like the final 30-40 minutes. And even then, they rush and half-ass everything. Pacing slower than a snail taking a shit. The set design is boring and tedious and just really generic. There's awful writing all the way throughout. Like, there were so many lines in here that just made me roll my eyes, because they're either cringy callbacks to the original, or just plain stupid lines written by someone that clearly didn't put their heart and soul into it. Which, I mean, I can't say I blame them. I mean, it is a live-action Disney remake, and 9 times out of 10 these turn out to be ass no matter what you do, so I kind of get it, in a way. But that doesn't mean it makes it any easier on the audience that are subjected to this fucking garbage. It is way too long, just like all of these remakes. The effects are terrible, like all of these remakes. Tinkerbell. Look, I have nothing against race swapping. If it's done right, it can be an interesting new spin. But this one just sucks. And no, it's not because of her skin color. It's because she has no fucking personality. Like, was Tinkerbell in this movie? Sassy. Just sassy. There's no character, there's no expressions, there's no actual complexity. It's just sassy. And since Peter Pan this time is a literal block of wood, you get no emotion out of her or any of their screen time together. And then you have Wendy, who's supposed to be the actual star of the movie, but is so boring that half the time I forgot she was even in the movie at all. She fades into the background like a Pirates of the Caribbean extra. So, complete and utter trash that sucks just as hard as all the other live-action Disney remakes. Not even Jude Law's decent performance as Captain Hook can save it. Even though he did try, I can see that he tried, and this is not like the worst remake ever. There are far worse things, but it's not good. It's still a terrible film, and it's still another example of why these shitty remakes should not exist and need to die. So, final verdict for this movie, I shouldn't give it a 0, because it does have things about it that are good. But at that same token, they also have a lot of problems, so I'll rate it. Oh, you know what? I'll just keep the score the same as last time. Fuck it. 2 out of 10. It's boring, but you can do worse. It's still a terrible movie, but not the worst remake, and far from the worst of these remakes. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. And now we only have one of these pieces of shit to look at. And it is the one that was so infuriating that Disney had to literally bully theaters to play it on loop, non-stop. because a certain someone kicked its ass opening weekend. So Disney, instead of deciding to take the loss like a man, decided to be a little fucking bitch. Yeah, I think you know where this is going, right? Next, we're looking at the movie that I outright refused to review or talk about when it initially came out, because I was supporting this and telling Disney to go fuck themselves. Which I'm still going to do, but now I'm actually going to talk about it, because since this is my last year reviewing Disney, I might as well give it the swift kick in the ass that it deserves. See you next time for Borfasa, the final remake that I'm talking about.